question.
Help me.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
However it is that I need help, help me.
Meet me where I am.
Exactly. Help me. If I have to work long days because I make more money or whatever, help me by when I come home, I don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just partnership.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I feel you.
It shouldn't even be a conversation, right? If you know that your
well, no, I can't.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Conversation, you said communication too. That's the only
Right,
thing
but
I'm saying.
sometimes communication is unspoken. Hold on, let me tell you why. When you walking around here, Durance, when you walking around here and you looking for something, or I see you in distress, I immediately kick into action. What is he looking for, right? You don't say a word. I know that you are in distress. You're looking for something, so it's my job, right? It goes without saying.
Yes.
And sometimes communication don't have to be words, right? It can be a body language. It can be me sending you a text saying that I have to work 12 hours. I don't have to say I work 12 hours. Can you take out the chicken? Can you boil the chicken? Can you do this and that? I put out what it is, because communication is, but it don't have to be long, right?
So to both of y'all point, I agree. Because to your point too, if the individual is out grinding all day, like, and no matter how it is, like, if you out grinding, then yeah, let's see what I can do to make it easier, because obviously I'm trying to make the burden of finances easier, because being at the crib is still a job.
It's a job.
And to Miss Aretha's point, like, whether or not like that individual is grinding or not, or how they plan it, my point is kind of this: if you are here kind of walking me through and you kind of see that, I'm saying as a man, we communicate differently. Like, and then we have to understand that piece too. Because how often do I walk around here completely lost because I got myself focused on something totally different, because, as you said before, I am grinding. But not in the sense of because I'm the man, or in the woman's sense. It's just that's the role that we play here. And like I said, we're not married. We're just trying to make sure that this center is run correctly. So that's a perfect example, and that's what I mean by just relationships. That's what I mean individual people's relationships. I'm not trying to say on a broad sense, because I don't care about the masses. I care about y'all because y'all my homies. I want to know what y'all think. So once again, as you talk about that alpha piece and that beta piece, because even as you talk about me, because you work with me for a minute, I don't walk around. I try not to give out any persona like I'm some type of alpha around here. I feel like everybody has a role in here, and everybody is important. But if you are, quote unquote, the buck stops with somebody. So if the buck stops with that individual, and if you are that individual in the home, especially if you're the person that's paying a lot of the bills in some situation, not saying the buck stops with you, but shoot, if you ain't working, a lot of the things fall down. So that's what I mean. Like, if you was in that situation, because P had brought it up, what does that mean? Now, it was kind of ambiguous in our answers, and I kind of want to bring that back around too, because we did say expectations. So I feel like our expectations should be something that we should be able to communicate kind of in a sense and in a way. Once again, this is something that me and my wife are trying to do a better job of as well too. Okay. So I'll ask that question again, and then I kind of have another one, just kind of what is your sense of?
I don't know how to answer that, of what my expectations are, because sometimes my expectations come from my past situations, right? And you don't really want to bring your past situations in. Now, I do have what I will and will not stand for, but if you don't set expectations and you allow a person to be who they are and you learn who they are, then you're not disappointed. And that's what I learned.
I'm wrong with you.
Like I've learned to let me see what I can get from this person, what they have to offer,
what can I expect from you as a person from what you show me?
From who you are, not from my expectations of a person.
We talked about that earlier though too, right?
If that makes sense.
Just depends on what the expectations are.
I can't expect you to do something
that you never even knew that I don't. Right? You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, people set expectations for people, and then when they don't meet them, they're upset. When these people never even knew that you had that expectation of them. One, two, you never. Hold on.
Do you ever?
You can't just run it down the line though.
Because you really.
You can't run your expectations down in the line. No, you cannot.
No, you can't. That's not even.
Because
guess what? Life is about change.
Sometimes your expectations are situations.
All right, so let me ask it this way then, because I definitely want to make sure I want Keita to jump in as well too.
That's cool.
That's cool. Like,
Yeah.
talking about my expectations.
I mean, So, I would love to hear your expectations, but first, but then,
I mean, we on the same vibration. I mean,
Yeah,
we expect the same in return.
yeah.
Like with the reciprocity that she brought up, right?
yeah.
The expectation. I don't care if I'm making more money. I don't care if I'm making less money.
Yeah.
I don't care if my hustle, I consider my hustle more important, or you consider your hustle more important, which that shouldn't be the case if we connected and we in a partnership.
Yeah.
Like, I expect, again, for us to be able to be locked in.
This is why
And
And
meet
with some of
each
that
other.
communication, again, isn't a verbal communication. I need you to understand the expectation is that you respect me. The expectation is that you love me. The expectation is that you try with me.
There we go.
Like, you
Oh,
have to try.
but there you go.
Like, you have
And that goes
Those
back
are
to
perfect.
understanding what my
Yeah.
past was,
Yeah.
so that you
Good
can understand why I'm living
Yeah.
in
But
my
those-
present.
but
so
that's
that
by
you can help
that's
me
humanity.
build my
Pay
future.
attention to me.
Yeah.
Because once you pay
Yeah.
attention to me, you'll be like,
You'll-
oh,
you'll-
she done came into
Exactly.
the house. Her eyebrows frayed. Let me just
Yeah.
Know
pay
me,
attention.
know me, learn me.
And be thoughtful.
Yes,
Yeah.
Be
mindful.
thoughtful
And
about
see,
like
and-
what's happening.
and see-
Don't be
me.
sorry. Be mindful. Ho.
Man, and it's
Oh,
so, but it's
come
so,
on now.
but you know what? It's so crazy because we talked about that earlier too, and I love where this conversation is going because earlier in the back, me and Sarita had a conversation about once again how men and women communicate. Like a man wants to see how our thoughtfulness is seen is through action. Like it's not necessarily through unspoken words. It's not necessarily through when I'm feeling. It's not necessarily through reading my facial expressions.
all black men
So
are
no,
fake love?
no. So hold on. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Wait. What did you say?
No,
I said
no,
so-
wait, no,
I-
no,
oh,
no,
yeah, I gotta
don't
say
go there.
love
Go.
language.
Finish what you was gonna say.
No,
Yeah.
that's where he was going. Go.
No. So, of course not. And so once again, we're not speaking for all black men, but I'm definitely speaking. So when I say the men that were in the room, majority of men that also were in my circle, that's the type of, those are the men that I would say that I would represent in this conversation. But yeah, I'm not, like I said, I could care less about other men. Like when I say I speak for cats that are related.
In your vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really could care less about anybody
this is
else.
another thing that I'm sorry that I come to realize today, talking to another meeting that we had earlier. I was talking to a gentleman, and what I'm seeing, just being in a sitting with Durance and his group of people, their age range. I'm 46, and what I'm seeing is they are a different breed of men than the breed of men from my age range, right? They are loving, they're caring, they are parenting, they're fathering their children. And not saying that we didn't have it at all. I'm saying that you see it more prevalent now. You see the men are building families and standing 10 toes down and taking care of their kids and marrying the people that they get their children with. Like, it's not a lot of that in my era, right? So they're looking at it from their standpoint. I'm looking at it from my life, right? So I'm not arguing what they feel. It's just not the life that I've lived. It's not the place that I've set, right? The men that I've dealt with, the men that I know. I'm growing to know that 35, 36, I'm going to even say 37 and down, these are the people that are creating and building their families, building jobs, looking for revenue, trying to buy stocks there, and whatever shifted, it's a great shift, but I'm still, when I speak, speaking from where I lived in my era, right? And he's speaking from his. And we all lived in different places and went through different things in our lives, but even still, whatever decision, whatever thought you make, it comes from your past because it's the only thing that you know, right? And your past is how you mold your present, and which is gonna now in turn determine your future, right? And the growth in us to be able to sit here and know because what we really saying is, we've been through some things, right? Each and every one of us is saying that we've been through some things, and these things have molded us and to think the way we think, right? To view men in the way that we view them, but it's also the way the men view us. They can hear me?
No, it can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I think that we need to understand that each and every person that's coming from a different walk of life is going to deal with things differently. So the young man that was on that podcast and said, I don't care that what you've been through, you're going to be feminine with me. You don't love her. You don't love her to not care where she come from, nurture that and grow her so that she can be the woman that you desire for her to be. But you cannot say what you've been through does not matter.
But to his point, though, on that same, and I love that, because on that same vibe, and I want to also make sure I get it back to the original points. I love peace. The man was saying that, no, do not bring that masculine energy to me at 38, because it's the same sense. What he was saying is that what woman would want to take that man dealing with his feminine, his dealing with his issues and taking that, like, who wants to, he was saying that nobody right now has the patience to build anybody up.
But he should be in a relationship.
Yeah. So no. I was just saying to Mr. Rita's point. Yeah. So I don't think he was saying that he was loving anybody. I think they were just talking.
No, he had a wife. He said his wife.
Oh, he was saying his wife.
He said that his wife is feminine because if she came to him any other way, then he wouldn't have dealt with her because he don't give a f about what nobody.
Also, is this tight?
So
I don't know.
Because
see, if you're not with the masculine women, so don't come to me because I don't care about what you went through. If you come to me with that masculine energy, you're gonna come to me with
But
some
I guess
energy.
but what's
Yeah, like what's your definition of that? Like,
so masculine, and so and that's why once again, that's why I think it's so dope that we get everybody's perspective on it. Whether if it's like we feel like we're not, that's what I'm saying, we're not talking for the masses because we got 5 different perspectives, and they're gonna find somebody out there that watches that vibes with whatever we have to say. So I'm sure your vision of masculine energy is different from mine, but then they can be able to take something out of that and then move up on it. So, I mean, you kind of opened the question. I don't know if you want to answer it first. So what is your definition of masculine energy?
you can answer it first. Go ahead.
See, that's masculine energy.
Tossed it right back.
So I think that's that whole alpha male piece, and I hate that piece because I think it just gets into what you traditionally seen. You traditionally seen men in power roles, so you're talking about that person who was at the top, that quote unquote leader. Everybody wants to be a leader until they're actually a leader for real, and that's the other thing besides it too, because when you actually in that role, you carry a lot more responsibility that it really goes into it. But I think what a masculine individual is somebody that can command a room, somebody that can command respect, but somebody that also knows how to give that same respect, because without that, you're going to lose your overall, I hate to say followers, but people that's on your team that support you. So I think that's when you come with that masculine energy. And the only reason I think that's that case because that's what you've seen before. In powerful situations, those are usually men. Now, that has now been trained into alpha situations. Now, I'm not saying that that's what it is. It's just when I say seen, you've seen that on television or you've seen that in media. That's the stories that they told you. These are men that are in these roles. So that's my definition of masculine. Do we want to go around the corner or do we want me to throw it back to you? You want to pee? She said on you. I honestly said that, yeah.
We'll just go around.
Yeah, let's go around.
Masculine energy. That's what
Yeah, masculine energy.
I view masculine energy as what you said, somebody that can demonstrate to you that they can lead. And whatever that means, it goes from situation to situation. So it's situational, right? So if we're at home and we're having a conflict, as a man in your masculine energy, the expectation would be for me to be able to find my calm because you're calm and you've led me down this energy and calmness that we can agree to disagree, or we can agree and be on the same page with it, and we can come back to it later. But you're able to control the situation to the point where everything is still able to go on in the household. Like it's the ability to make everything come back together. Like we can be chaotic, and then you can calm the storm in the household. That's the masculine energy I look for in a man. That's somebody that knows how to read a woman and bring her back to her center, because we are emotional. I accept being emotional as a woman. So if you're able to allow me to go off and come back, and we still have respect, we still got love, and you led that conversation to that point, you have nothing but respect for me as a man.
So just make sure I love that. And then one thing I heard is what I heard, that a masculine energy is being able to accept, and not only just accept, but respect your feminine energy, and the fact that you will be emotional, that you care, you have a lot of passion. But taking that, understanding that, and moving forward, so that comes with some understanding that there is going to be an energy difference between, all right, and then
one more thing, it's not just the submissive part. I know, because it brings up a whole nother conversation, but being in my feminine energy doesn't, again, take away from your masculine energy either. And you don't take away from like that respect, but also what I'm trying to say is like a woman can know that she has it under control, but I'm never going to make you feel like you don't have it under control, because it's my job to also support you in my feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? We know at the end of the day, we hold it down, we got it. And the reason why you the leader in the household is because I respect you as the leader of the household. So I'll pass it over.
Yeah, that's dope.
So my definition would probably be like kind of what you guys are saying. I don't know. I don't really
You ever
know.
really thought about it for real before?
I really haven't, honestly,
Yeah.
because I didn't really grow up with my daddy, so like masculine energy was never like really a thing to me.
True that.
So like for me, I just feel like it's somebody like that respects me, helps me. I help them too. I just feel like it goes both ways.
What's a leader, or just what's a trait as like somebody that leads for you then?
I don't know, because I've always led myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I don't know.
Have you ever seen yourself as following somebody? Because they usually say you gotta learn how to follow before you lead. I'm not questioning your leadership aspect,
Which is true.
I'm just saying like, because you usually like that's you usually like from a leader, you're like, oh, that's what I want to be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I just look at like somebody as a leader for me is somebody that's strong, know how to handle themselves, know how to get through situations that you probably didn't know how to get through. Helping yourself or helping somebody else. I guess it just, to me, it just depends on the situation and who the person is and how I know that they're gonna be.
P.
Okay, so like I'm into like spirituality and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has masculine and feminine energy.
Thank you for putting
It's
that out
not
there.
gender based.
Because we were made for men and women.
And I feel like masculine.
Now she's silent.
Because we on the same vibe. We
There it
sure.
is.
spiritual connection. But I do feel like everything is situational.
Yeah.
Like I can be with a man. I could be with my dad, and I can take the lead of something because he isn't able to, whether it's age, knowledge.
How does your pops deal with that? Like, how does he rock with that? Just out of curiosity, like when he has to be like, man, my daughter's got to lead. Like, my daughter.
You
gotta
can
take the
tell
lead.
it kind of hit the ego.
I bet.
Just a little bit.
I bet.
But at the end of the day, you raise the leader. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know that I can take care of you or handle the situation. And I think that also makes him, you know what I'm saying, very proud at the same time
That too.
because his daughter
For sure.
knows how to
For sure.
do things on her own if she needs to.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like, I guess it's just situational, but masculine energy is being a leader. I feel like there are 7 people in here. Did I count that right?
We just
And I
that's
feel
that
like this
person math.
conversation, I feel like this conversation has a lot of masculine energy in it. There are a lot of people with headstrong thoughts who want to get their point across. And in no way are we wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the walk that we on. So, I guess it just shifts. And every relationship's supposed to
Nah,
shift
that's
the
dope.
energy a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
dope. Because definitely got a live follow. Yes, Miss Aretha. This is dope.
It's about to be heavy.
It is.
I just think that I just think that it's
What is masculine energy to you, Miss Aretha? What is masculine energy to you?
it's broad. I think that like she said that we have those energies, both God granted us with both of those energies. So I think that at times and places and that situations we all have those energies that shift, right? I think that it's all about a respecting. I think it's all about where you're coming from when you're coming. It does. Sorry, Manny. I don't think that it really should determine the feeling, but I think that we still are not thinking about the why, right? Because I know that people look at me like I have masculinity energy, right? Running through me. But why, right? But why? I have that energy because I've had to stand in that place where people say a man should have stood, right? I didn't choose that place. It was chosen for me, but I did my best in that place. Never could I be a man. Never could I fulfill for my children what their dad should have. But all I could do was try to do my best.
Yeah.
Did that bring me to a point in myself where I gotta feel like I don't need you, right? I'm not emasculating you, but I'm empowering me.
Myself.
Because it would be many days that I ain't know how this shit was about to play out, right? Because I'm a woman, I'm doing my part, but they need more. They need something more, and all I could do was try my best to give to them. So did it anger me some? Yes. Did it stress me out? Yes. Did it empower me or build my masculinity because I had to change a tire, because I had to be a baby's daddy, because I had to be those things? Yes, but it was not a choice. It's not, I'm never looking at me like an alpha. I'm looking at me as strong and being built up by the situations that life brought me.
Do you
Say
feel like that
that.
built your confidence?
I do.
So let me ask you this, out of curiosity, and that was dope. And I kind of want to ask y'all follow-ups on all that too, on just because you guys all answered beautifully on what you felt masculinity was. That confidence that you built onto that, do you hold on to that? Do you feel like, and not in the sense that this is a bad way, but do you hold on to that and feel like that if you let that go a little bit, that you're letting go of something of yourself? I'm not asking no therapist sense, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, I do. I do. I do. I hold it.
Okay.
I hold it. I do hold it. But I will say that today I am trying to grow, to learn, to let that go, because that was the fight then, right? It does not have to continue to be my fight.
Yeah.
So I don't have to continue to be strong when you see a strong man standing before you, right? It's hard. It's scary to let go because I've always had these reins. But I am growing to know that this is not my constant fight.
Yeah. What about you, P? That's how you react to that too.
Like everybody want to let go of some masculine energy.
Yeah.
You know, especially women, especially. So, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, because you ain't gonna tell me that I ain't the shit. And I feel like if I didn't have this masculine energy and had to fend for myself to know, like you said, empowering myself.
Yeah.
I don't want you to, because if you think about it, men treat women who don't have no masculine energy totally different on some.
Facts.
It's real
Go
weak
ahead.
shit.
Go ahead, talk it out.
It's
Talk it
real
out.
like
Talk it out.
they get played. You know what I'm saying? They get to tell these women whatever in the world they want to. The women gonna go with it. Yeah, the women gonna go with it, especially if they paying a bill or whatever. They're gonna go with that. But when you have masculine energy women got a little bit in it, it's like, nah, nigga, you're not about to play me. And I think that also is intimidating for men.
Have you been? So let me ask.
That's intimidating for men. That's why the
man.
masculine energy or the alpha female is intimidating.
Pete, can I ask you this as a homie? I love you. Please do not throw this wine on me, 'cause I really like this jacket. Have you been played before?
Of course.
Who
All right.
hasn't?
You know.
All right.
Who
All right.
hasn't?
I
So,
thought you was my home.
You
So-
know.
so you, and once again, and like I said, me and you always been homies since junior high, 7th, yeah. Cause she know the uppercut coming.
Go ahead.
Nah, but no. So with that though, because as you said before, you are now protecting yourself from being played. So you're now putting on this armor where it feels like that you're not trying to be. I'm not saying that you're trying to be something, because you said that you want to let that go. You want to let that shit go.
No, I'm aware.
All right.
I
even
don't
awa-
block.
all right,
I'm aware.
Even aware, right? Because as a man that's also done some dumb shit, I ain't treat every woman I was with correctly. Like shit, I can say that shit. But over time, you learn not just from how you treat other people and people that you actually care about, and how that responds to them. And then as you also evolve as a human being, you start to also take a step back and realize, I can't keep doing the same shit, right? So you evolve. So let me ask you, this your perspective now. So like at what point so what does it take then for that wall to come down there, right? If that makes sense. Like,
well, my wall, it's not
I don't even want
like,
to call it a wall. And
yeah, like it's not. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
like the
and that's
defense, like the guard.
Yeah. Because I think the conversation always gets, I think that gets to your point with the dude. Nobody wants to fight through that wall, especially the older that they get, right? Because,
right.
Yeah, especially like a man that feels like he's successful and all them other type of quote unquote.
Well,
things
that's also goes back to your point. Everybody ain't the same. So I never spin the block. So an ex who did me wrong, like, I mean, that just happened, and it's just, you know what I'm saying? But I don't hold what my exes did to my new relationship. However, that's why I said I'm aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the patterns continue, like, or I have learned to, okay, pay attention to this person. Let's see what their routine is. Oh, this is what they do. Oh, it's off. I ain't no fool no more. I know what this is. Let me start asking my questions. But I never, like, just completely block it off, if that makes sense.
No, you don't let your guard tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You might keep on your chest plate and take off your leg plate.
Yeah, I'm not Erykah Badu bag lady.
Yeah,
but I'm aware.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Keita.
No. So I mean, I think it's been stated already. Is like we want and we look for that opportunity to put those bags down, to let that wall drop, and the only way to accomplish that is to find somebody that meets you at your point of need. It's not about any type of energy. It's about the respect. It's about the love and the ability to be, again, locked in.
And the patience.
And because it requires all of those things in order to feel comfortable enough to say, even from a man's perspective, I trust you enough to let you in. I'm about to let you in, so I have to be able to trust you to do that. And that requires patience and a little bit of time and vetting and quality, moments and that intimacy that doesn't require sex. Like, it requires being able to touch my soul, like we talked about earlier, touch me in my spirit in order for me to feel comfortable. I mean, that's not every situation. You meet somebody at a club, you do what you do. Okay, cool. But I'm talking about a serious relationship. Somebody that I'm going to let my guard down, and we might be soulmates. I don't know that until I'm comfortable, in that comfortableness comes from that opportunity to have those conversations and build that trust.
And once again, it's because I love that, because it started off as, what is that masculine piece? And then just talking energy, right, in general, because you're not even necessarily looking for, I guess you are, you're looking for that masculine person to kind of take that and fill that void, fill that guard, kind of take that hole, if that makes sense. And I'm just using cliche terms just for, lack of a better one. But if that's the case, and if that individual comes through, because I'm just speaking from a man's perspective and the man that I kind of kick it with. And we can wrap it up on just one more piece and we can wrap it up. Everybody kind of, I shouldn't say everybody. When men have these conversations with women, when men have these conversations about our women, it's like, why should I have to fight through something like that when they're asking the same thing of me, right? Because you're asking that same piece from a man to let his guard down, to let his piece to be his emotional side of it, to be a little bit more vulnerable. But then with that, though, you kind of also get the same piece of the conversation. I kind of just want to make sure we kind of wrap it up on this end, too. Because we also all said, it seemed like there was an agreement in the room that men nowadays are not really holding up their standard, their end of the bargain. Like, we would call them men, and we'll cut this piece out if there's a disagreement, if we don't feel that way. We were saying that, men are soft. Men aren't really doing what they need to. So, crybabies, thank you. That men are crybabies. So, what makes a man a crybaby? And is that him touching into his, feminine side?
No, y'all just be crying. It's not masculine energy. Y'all be running around crying about stuff that's not important.
So what it is? So what is
like
y'all
need about? Y'all need to cry about what's important.
So go ahead.
Kids cry.
Go ahead. So give me
Y'all need to care about
what's important.
I mean, y'all need to cry about what's important.
What's important?
Hell yeah. The kids cry, running to the grocery store, doing the damn laundry. Shit, y'all want me to talk about it now? Y'all over here crying about take out the damn trash and just do it with your smile on your face. Don't sit up there and be crying about something that don't even matter.
So what is he crying about?
I just told you.
What is he crying about?
I don't even know, because I do all the shit. I don't know. I do it all. I change diapers. I take the. Listen, he ain't. Like, don't come. I take the trash out. I don't expect anything from anybody. Like I said, like she said, meet me 50-50, and we gonna do this thing. We a team. That's it. That's all. Ain't nothing more. We a team. We ain't gotta. You ain't gotta. I don't care what you had. I don't care about what you got. What we doing together is what all that's all that matters.
Nah. So yeah.
Yeah, y'all be living off social media and stuff, and
go ahead.
they don't know them. They don't know them.
If you want to fly me out, then go ahead. But I'm just saying, like, damn, you don't have to.
No.
If you little date or something.
No, please, no. I ain't just touch into it because I think no. I'm telling you, men need to hear this. No, men need to hear this. So go ahead. Like, what do you think that men want from a woman? Because like you said, they want Instagram models. Like, what is it that you feel like men want?
A slave.
Go.
A sex doll. That's what y'all want.
A slave and a sex doll.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
That was this right here.
Wait.
That was it. That was it.
Y'all want y'all mama.
That's what I was gonna say. They need their mamas.
Then go to your mama.
Like it's
Okay,
getting.
I
don't know these women
I
that
think.
y'all talking about.
Hello. I think the grandma raising of these boys. No, because they spoiled them, right? I am guilty of spoiling men, right?
Yeah.
But I spoil men. I don't spoil men like characters, right? You got to be putting out for me to put out, right? So I think that
I'm curious
men,
on who these dudes are.
I
Like,
think-
the same way
I
saw,
think that- I keep trying to tell him that. I think that
That's what no, because I'm saying like, cause no, go ahead, Mr. Rita, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that
No, that's what
I
I'm
hear-
saying. The same cast we went to school with, Mr. Rita. Yeah.
I ain't getting on this podcast no more.
Now go ahead.
But I was respectful and I listened.
Yeah.
I think that the whole thing, the problem is I keep going back to this 1949, 63, when all these things were different. And people will say, my pawpaw and my grandma. Okay, but you're not even your pawpaw, right? Your pawpaw got up and went to work at GE every day. Your pawpaw brought home a paycheck. You sitting here and run up my GE bill. Remember when it used to be GE changed the lights? You running my Duke bill up, busting my light bulbs because they burning all day. And you want me to respect you as a man. Now, if when I came home, the dishes was done, the food was cooked, the kids' homework was done, the clothes was out for the day, because it don't matter who do it, it's the dynamics, right? Mm-hmm. It don't matter who do it, it just needs to happen. Mm-hmm. I can respect you and as a man, and you don't be crying. I ain't crying. You won't get to cry. You get to sit in here and play your game all day, and I don't expect. I bring you your Coronas. I bring you your Black and Milds. I make sure you got everything you need. And then I know who. I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just making up stuff.
Example.
No.
Corona drink.
I just made up. No, I
ahead,
see
go
it
ahead,
though.
go ahead,
I've watched
go
plenty
ahead.
of my friends go through it. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know
What
about
I'm
those because
saying
more
is-
because like I said, those statistics aren't accurate because it's more black men get married now. It's more black men can't keep.
So it goes back to my point,
so those
right?
statistics aren't true.
My visions is coming from my world. I see, and I gave y'all credit.
Yeah.
Y'all are marrying y'all baby mamas. Y'all are providing and building foundations like the Heights movement. And
No.
but they're out there. They're out there.
It's no. But I think I think it really gets down to a miscommunication though of what the expectations are, right? Because I think that's pretty much the whole loop of this conversation. Because as a man, just really trying to
So
listen
you want
and
me to give you
no,
what you expect of me? No, I'm trying to
wait. I truly let everybody speak. I just want to kind of give.
But you can't keep going if I don't
Miss
understand.
Aretha, I'm hearing you because I just heard how you talked about you really want somebody to truly feel you and truly be able to grow and mold with or not.
No, I'm asking. Right, I'm asking you. Are you asking us to say that a man needs us to set and give them expectations?
And no, I'm saying that every person,
Okay,
as you
I'm
said
just
before,
trying to
no.
make
So the same way that young lady said she has boundaries, right? This is what I don't like. This is what I do like as an individual. This is the type of person I am, right? So as I start to meet a person, right? everybody puts on that honeymoon phase, right? And then everybody kind of phases out. And then you look up and say, okay, that's who you are. Either I'm going to rock with you or I'm not. Like, that, don't think that from a man's perspective that gets down to, are you going to be a slave or those other type of things? Because that's where I was confused upon. Because any person, that's what I'm saying, this is where I get confused upon. Because I don't know one person that doesn't want somebody that has an opinionated thought or be able to, like, be able to have a conversation or be able to do their own thing. Because if not, hold on. Because because if not, that's a child. I don't want to raise, I don't need a child. No, go ahead.
If you didn't know these people, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No, what I'm saying, we having the conversation because that seems to be the same way that, because if I was going to sit there and talk about everything that men say is wrong with the dating world or whatever, it would be a whole type of a misnomer that we wouldn't even have, like, it would have been, this wouldn't even been a podcast. It would have been this whole bunch of no piece. I wanted to make sure that we really had a chance to really hear from you all what you all felt like, yo, this is what we see. I see from a leadership role, what I see myself in a leadership role, but on the backside of it, what I would like to see from somebody to take some of this burden off of me. That's kind of been the flow of our conversation but now we kind of to a point where it's kind of getting to the end of where it's like, yo, but at the end of the day, y'all niggas ain't shit. So I'm trying to figure out,
They never said that.
No, thank you. Nobody said that, for the record.
Wait. So, or
because you can't end on this.
No.
Yeah, I feel like.
So, no, because so once again, if not, I want to make sure. So if not, I want to make sure we are all clear because once again, men and women communicate differently, and from a man's perspective, that's what it's. Exactly. Exactly, Anna. That is the problem. We can. Hold on. Yeah.
Wait. So what I'm trying to understand is what you got from us is that we feel like men are not shit, right?
So all of that.
I totally.
No. So how we got to the exactly.
I did not. Why you gonna look at me and say exactly? I don't agree with that. I think that the biggest number is the miscommunication and the fact that women have not learned to understand that men communicate different. Men have not learned to understand that we communicate different.
Yeah.
And until we learn how we all communicate and respect, because the whole thing is respect, listening and respecting each other's thoughts and how we move. It's not even therapeutical. Like none of us do. Some it's both sides because I can say I'm guilty. Like I can say.
It goes both ways. I feel you. Yeah. I think it's more toward men than anything, but
I don't know. I mean,
for the record, men are something. You not just ain't shit. Y'all something.
Right.
Y'all definitely something.
Our hardest
We do.
to get you.
Yeah.
You.
And
but
I was just about to say, I just hate the fact that it's always a battle between a black man and a black woman. I hate that. I hate that for us. That's not a good look for us.
And that's why I keep saying partnership.
Partnership.
When you start talking about relationship, that's when it's emotions and it's what's the alpha woman and what's the alpha male and I gotta take out. What is the partnership? When y'all go to do a business deal together, if you go in to buy a house, anything, it's on paper. This is what me and this person. Our personality types match. We got the same goals. We having conversations. This is what works. Yeah. But when you say relationship, it just get petty. It get weird. It get cheaty.
Part of the problem is everybody tries to live somebody else's relationship. I can't live your relationship. What works for you don't mean it's gonna work for me. But should I get to judge how it works for you? Do I get to make you feel bad and make your man feel bad and make you, oh girl, you stupid for having him because he ain't doing nothing but cutting the grass and doing all the domestic stuff because you go home and because you go out and get the check. But what works for you, it works for you. And the problem is everybody allows other people to come in and say, girl, he ain't bought you no shoes in 5 weeks. What?
Or
ain't about you a Birkin.
It's 80-20.
Yeah, like all of that. Yeah. That I think is a big part of why relationships can't grow because you're so busy communicating with the outside world that you can't communicate with your home.
Oh, is it?
Period.
That's cool. So yeah, we definitely, Yeah, no.
Well, black men, we love you. That's what we wanted to say.
Yeah, we love
you.
We love y'all.
Nah, this has been fun.
There it is.
And all period.
Nah, this is why I say this is always fun, man. That's why.
Chris Rock
How to love.
Chris Rock said they used
How to
to
love.
want a little love, now they just want a like.
Nah, I hear you. So, nah, I hear you, but that's why I love that. I always,
Just be happy that you married and you done found your person.
No. But let me say it this way though too. This is me and Sarita had this conversation because the dynamic seems so lost right now. And to Keita's point, it's kind of sad for real, and I really hope that we can figure it out because this communication is misnomer, right? Like, let me tell you how a man thinks, and then we can let this whole thing go. Like how we talked about, you said a partnership. From a man perspective, a partnership, like how we do, and once again, if I get into a partnership with Emmanuel, if I get into a partnership with somebody else, it's going to be on paper, very clear with a plan of what we're going to do, which requires expectations. Not in the sense of this is because I need you to be, I need you to take out. No. So it's very clear in our communication line. Like, no, hold on, Manny. Hold on. Because from a man's perspective, and just how we talked about before, we don't have the superpower y'all got. How y'all can see everything. And we appreciate how y'all see everything. Like, most of the times, like, us as men, we see what's right in front of us, and that's all we can deal with is right in front of us. So if that's how we, but that's how you truly build a great partnership, though. Like, we did this experiment when we went up to Cleveland, where we really talked about everybody's personality types. You got some people that are northern personality types that leaves it. Dog, Manny, chill for a second. Like, we talked about how you got some people that are like northern, eastern, southern, and western. Like northern.
That's definitely different.
Yeah.
Trust me, living in Texas, they different, baby.
But you got southern people that care, like you said, that really, you got southern people, like and how it was trying to focus around. Southern people really focus on emotions, how people really feel. You got northern people that just really trying to get things done. You got eastern people that's really kind of just focus on like the dynamic of it, and western that's focused on the numbers, right? So if you really talk about that in a relationship standpoint, men really like to I want to just see the ABC of it. Like, we don't always see the gray.
But I feel but what's weird is it's 2023.
Hold on,
wait, 1 second.
Hold on. But that's what makes a great partnership, though. The fact that you got somebody that's on one sense of it driving it, but somebody else on the other side of it that's keeping aware and keeping us in a perspective of how we continue to move forward. Like, you can't, if all I see is in front of me, I can't grow. I don't get no other perspective. I don't emotionally grow. I don't get to do all the other pieces that, once again, that a woman or somebody else or another partner can provide as we move forward.
My question is, it's 2023, and we acting like men and women ain't been in relationships and built, like, we have grandma and grandpa. Like, why are we acting like relationships are new and we don't know how to do it and everybody needs a tutorial and a step-by-step? It's been happening.
Because what's changed and what's consistent conversation of what's changed.
I don't want to do the ABC.
No, I don't. No, it gets back to Portia's point, because what's changed is that you now have a dynamic where, as you said before, go ahead. Because now we gone. We down to this. Because it gets on Portia's point, because you have a dynamic where if I am busting my ass all day doing something, or if I'm busting my ass being and bringing in cheese, I can't do all this other type shit. And that's where you get into now. Like, you going somewhere, you working all damn day. And somebody else is working all damn day too.
So
and y'all
blame the government.
No, I'm not blaming
inflation. Everybody got to work, so it ain't no road.
But we definitely do need to redefine though. And that's something me and my wife are still doing to this day all the time is, how do you redefine that dynamic? Because if you're tired all day from working, and I'm tired all day from working, and we both want to just have repeat for each other, we don't have the energy for it. So how do you now find that time and that pathway? That's what I'm saying is completely different. Because to Miss Aretha's point, there was a point in time where there was only one person doing it. Right. And there was only somebody else. The roles was very cut and clear. You may not have liked it. You may not have wanted it to be that way, but it was. Now we got a lot more options. So with these a lot more options and definitely being where you want to be, how do you now make it all work? But I guess that's part 2, though.
I guess that's part 2.